Have you ever felt the fire of anger rise inside you, burning your peace, clouding your judgment, and driving you to say or do things you later regret? What if I told you that anger is not only a thief of peace, but also a weakness that reveals our lack of self-mastery? The ancient Stoics, Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus, taught that anger is the most destructive emotion, capable of enslaving even the strongest man. But they also left us with timeless wisdom, a strategy so profound that if you truly practice it, you can conquer anger forever. This is the ultimate Stoic strategy to conquer anger, and in this video we're going to dive deep into the teachings of the great philosophers, breaking down their wisdom into practical steps that you can apply in your daily life. But before we begin, I have a quick challenge for you. If you are someone who seeks mastery of the mind, if you value inner strength, wisdom, and freedom from destructive emotions, then hit the subscribe button right now and join this community of Stoic learners. And don't just subscribe. Leave a comment below with one thing that usually makes you angry, and let's see how we can apply Stoicism to it together. Now, take a deep breath and let us begin. Why anger is the most dangerous emotion? Seneca once said, "The greatest remedy for anger is delay." But why did he emphasize anger more than any other passion? It's because anger disguises itself as strength. It makes us feel powerful, righteous, justified. And yet, in truth, it weakens us, blinds us, and makes us slaves to impulse. Think about it. When you are angry, you lose clarity. Your tongue becomes sharp, your hands become restless, your heart races, and your reason, the very thing that makes you human, gets overpowered. Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher emperor, wrote in his Meditations, "How much more grievous are the consequences of anger than the causes of it?" This is a vital lesson. The spark that provokes your anger, a harsh word, a disrespect, a betrayal, might last only a second. But the consequences of your anger, broken relationships, ruined opportunities, regretful actions, can last a lifetime. So the Stoics saw anger not as strength, but as weakness. Not as power, but as slavery. And the first step to conquering it is to see anger for what it truly is, a destructive force that harms us more than it harms others. The Stoic strategy: control of perception. Epictetus, the slave-turned-philosopher, gave us the foundation. It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. This is the cornerstone of the Stoic strategy against anger. Nothing outside of you, no insult, no betrayal, no disrespect, has power over you unless you grant it that power. The event itself is neutral. The insult is just sound waves. The betrayal is just an action. The disrespect is just a thought in someone else's mind. What gives it power to disturb you is your judgment of it. You say to yourself, "This is unbearable. This is insulting. This is unjust." And in saying that, you light the fire of anger within. The Stoic strategy, therefore, begins with controlling your perception. The moment something happens that provokes anger, pause and remind yourself, "This is only my judgment of the event, not the event itself." This pause creates space, and in that space lies your freedom. The practice of delay. Seneca advised, "The best cure for anger is to wait." Anger is impulsive. It thrives on immediacy. The faster you react, the more it controls you. But if you delay, if you step back, breathe, and allow time to pass, the fire weakens. Imagine someone insults you. Your first impulse is to lash back. But what if you pause for even 10 seconds, take a slow breath and ask yourself, will this matter in an hour? In a day? In a year? Suddenly, the insult shrinks. The sting weakens. And the anger loses its grip. Marcus Aurelius trained himself in this practice. In his Meditations, he wrote, "When you are offended at any man's fault, turn to yourself and study your own failings. Then you will forget your anger." What a profound strategy! Instead of focusing outward on what provokes you, turn inward and reflect on your own imperfections. You will quickly realize that just as you make mistakes, others do too. And this understanding dissolves anger into compassion. Reflection. The cost of anger. Let us pause for a moment. Think of a time when you were angry. Think of the words you said that you regretted, the decisions you made that hurt someone, or the actions you took that you later wished you hadn't. Now ask yourself, did my anger solve the problem, or did it make it worse? The truth is, anger rarely solves. It only destroys. Seneca warned us. Anger, an acid that can do more harm to the vessel in which it is stored than to anything on which it is poured. When you hold on to anger, you are the one who suffers. Your peace is stolen, your mind is disturbed, your health declines. The Stoic path is not about suppressing anger or pretending it doesn't exist. It is about transforming it, about mastering it so completely that it can never master you again. A challenge for you. From today forward, I challenge you to practice the first Stoic strategy: delay and perception control. The next time anger arises, do not react immediately. Pause. Breathe. Remind yourself, this is not the event that disturbs me, but my judgment of it. Then delay your response. Wait. Reflect. And you will see that the fire of anger fades on its own. This is just the beginning. In the next part, we will go deeper into Stoic exercises that will not only help you control anger, but completely transform how you see the world. So stay with me, because what comes next could change your life. Welcome back, my friend. If you have made it this far, you already understand the Stoic truth that anger is not strength but slavery. You now know that perception and delay are the first weapons to weaken its hold over you. But the Stoics went further. They did not just tell us to pause or to delay. They gave us practical disciplines to train the mind so that anger cannot even take root in the first place. Let us dive into these exercises and learn from the words of Marcus Aurelius, Epictetus, and Seneca. For if you truly master these practices, anger will no longer be your master. You will be free. 1. The power of premeditation. The first practice is called premeditatio malorum, the premeditation of evils. Marcus Aurelius would begin his day with a meditation that prepared him for the challenges ahead. In Meditations he wrote, "When you wake up in the morning, tell yourself, the people I deal with today will be meddling, ungrateful, arrogant, dishonest, jealous, and surly. But I will not be harmed by them, for we are made to work together." What a powerful reminder. Instead of being surprised or angered when people act with flaws, he expected it. He trained his mind in advance to see human weakness as natural. And this is the first Stoic training against anger. Expect imperfection. If you expect everyone to be kind, respectful, and fair, you will constantly be disappointed. But if you expect people to sometimes lie, insult, betray, or act selfishly, then when it happens, you will not be shocked or angry. You will simply say, "Ah, this is part of life. I was ready for this." By rehearsing the difficulties of the day in your mind, you become like a soldier who trains before the battle. When the battle comes, you are already prepared. 2. The discipline of perspective. Epictetus gave us another exercise. He said, when you are offended by someone's shameless conduct, immediately ask yourself, can it be that there are no shameless people in the world? It is impossible. Do not ask the impossible. Think about that. If you are angry at people for being dishonest, arrogant, or disrespectful, you are asking for the impossible. That the world should contain no dishonesty, no arrogance, no disrespect. But the world is the world. People are people. They act according to their nature, their ignorance, their passions. Why should this surprise us? This practice teaches us to zoom out to see life with perspective. Instead of asking, why is this happening to me? Ask, why should I expect anything else? Marcus Aurelius often reminded himself of this truth. He wrote, when you are troubled by another's fault, immediately turn to the question, what fault of mine most resembles the one I am angry about? Perspective. Instead of pointing outward, he looked inward. Instead of condemning others, he humbled himself. This shift in perspective dissolves anger like ice melting in the sun. 3. The exercise of self-discipline. Seneca believed that anger is strongest in those who are weak in self-control. He wrote, no man is more unhappy than he who never faces adversity, for he is not permitted to prove himself. The Stoics saw life itself as a training ground. Every insult, every annoyance, every act of disrespect is not an enemy. It is an exercise, an opportunity to train your discipline. When someone cuts you off in traffic, instead of raging, see it as training. When someone mocks you, see it as training. When someone betrays you, see it as training. This mindset transforms anger into strength. The world becomes your gym, and every provocation is a weight you can lift to grow stronger. Epictetus compared it to wrestling. He said, "Difficulties show what men are." Therefore, when a difficulty falls upon you, remember that God, like a trainer of wrestlers, has matched you with a rough young man. For what purpose? That you may become an Olympic conqueror. So instead of asking, "Why did this happen to me?" ask, "How can I use this to train my mind?" 4. Practicing the pause through breath. One of the most practical exercises the Stoics would approve of is the conscious pause through breathing. Seneca wrote, "The greatest remedy for anger is time. But how do we buy time in the heat of the moment? Through the breath." The next time anger rises, practice this. Take one deep breath in, hold for a moment, and release slowly. Do this 3 times before you speak or act. This simple pause interrupts the automatic reaction of anger. It gives reason a chance to step in. It is like pulling back the reins on a wild horse. Though the Stoics did not write about breath in the same way modern science does, their principle of delay aligns perfectly with this exercise. Modern studies confirm what the Stoics knew intuitively. A pause, even a short one, restores clarity and reduces impulsive behavior. 5. Rehearsing forgiveness. Another Stoic training is the practice of forgiveness, not as a moral obligation, but as a rational strategy. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "When another blames you or hates you, or people voice similar criticisms, go to their souls, penetrate inside and see what sort of people they are. You will realize there is no need to be racked with anxiety that they should hold any particular opinion about you." Forgiveness for the Stoics was not about excusing wrong behavior. It was about freeing yourself from the chains of resentment. Anger ties you to the wrongdoer. Forgiveness breaks the chain. The Stoic forgives because he values his own peace of mind more than his pride. Seneca said it best, "Anger, if not restrained, is frequently more hurtful to us than the injury that provokes it." So forgive, not because they deserve it, but because you deserve peace. 6. Reflection and journaling. Marcus Aurelius kept a journal, which later became the Meditations. He did not write it for the world. He wrote it for himself. Each night he reflected on his day, where he succeeded, where he failed, where he gave in to passion, and where he practiced virtue. This is another Stoic practice we can adopt. Each evening, reflect. Where did I feel anger today? Did I control it? Did I delay my response? Did I see the event as training? Write it down. By reflecting daily, you train your mind to improve gradually. Over time, anger will weaken and mastery will strengthen. Let us pause again. Close your eyes for a moment and imagine the next time someone provokes you. Instead of exploding, imagine yourself calm, still, unshaken, like a mountain that no storm can move. That is the Stoic ideal. That is the fruit of discipline. Anger cannot conquer a man who has trained his mind daily, who expects imperfection, who sees each annoyance as practice, who forgives easily, and who reflects honestly. Here is your next challenge. Practice premeditation and reflection. Each morning, remind yourself, today I will meet people who are flawed, but I will not be harmed by them. And each evening reflect, where did anger rise in me today, and how did I respond? If you do this for even 7 days, you will see a shift. Anger will lose its grip, clarity will grow, and you will feel a strength that few ever experience. The strength of mastery over yourself. This is the Stoic way. This is the path of freedom. In the next part, we will go even deeper. We will explore how the Stoics used reason, cosmic perspective, and the acceptance of fate to dissolve anger at its very roots. This is where we unlock the deepest layer of Stoic wisdom. So stay with me, for part 3 will take us higher. Welcome back, seeker of wisdom. By now, you have learned to delay anger, to control your perceptions, and to train your mind daily through Stoic exercises. But there is an even deeper level to Stoic mastery, one that takes us beyond mere control of anger into its complete dissolution. This level involves reason, cosmic perspective, and the acceptance of fate. When you see life as the Stoics saw it, anger no longer even makes sense. Let us journey now into this higher vision. 1. Anger as the enemy of reason. The Stoics believed that reason is the essence of our humanity. To live well is to live according to reason, to see the world clearly, and to act with wisdom. But anger is the destroyer of reason. Seneca wrote, "Anger is a brief madness." Think of those words, brief madness. Anger is like insanity. It clouds the mind, distorts reality, and makes us act in ways we later regret. When you are angry, you are no longer reasoning. You are being ruled by passion. And if reason is your true nature, then anger is the denial of your very self. Epictetus reminded his students, "If you are provoked by something, know that it is your own opinion which has provoked you." This is a call to reason. It is not the event itself, but the irrational judgment we attach to it, that fuels anger. And so, to conquer anger, we must return to reason. Ask yourself in moments of rage, what do I know for certain? What is my judgment? Am I seeing clearly, or am I seeing through the fog of passion? This rational questioning dissolves anger like sunlight dissolves fog. 2. The cosmic perspective. Marcus Aurelius, who ruled the greatest empire of his time, constantly reminded himself of the vastness of the universe. He wrote in Meditations, "The anger and sorrow of man are as nothing against eternity. Consider how swiftly all things are swept away and carried into the abyss of time." This is the cosmic perspective. What is the insult you suffered compared to the sweep of centuries? What is the betrayal you endured compared to the endless expanse of the cosmos? What is the disrespect you received compared to the fact that soon, very soon, you and the one who offended you, and even the memory of the event will vanish into dust? The Stoics trained themselves to look at life from above, to imagine the earth from the viewpoint of the stars. From such a height, anger appears absurd, like ants fighting over crumbs while the universe expands endlessly around them. Seneca echoed this perspective when he said, "How trivial are the things which inflame us. Indeed, when seen from eternity, the things that trigger our anger shrink to nothing." 3. The acceptance of fate. Another core Stoic principle is amor fati, the love of fate. The Stoics taught that everything that happens is part of a larger order, a rational unfolding of the universe. To resist what happens is to resist the whole of reality itself. Marcus Aurelius advised, "Accept the things to which fate binds you, and love the people with whom fate brings you together, but do so with all your heart." When you accept fate, anger has no soil in which to grow. Why be angry at what could not have been otherwise? Why rage at the inevitable? If someone insults you, it was fated. If someone betrays you, it was fated. If someone acts unjustly, it was fated. You cannot change the past, but you can change how you meet it. Seneca taught, "A wise man is content with his lot, whatever it may be, without wishing for what he has not." This acceptance is not weakness, it is strength. It means you no longer waste your energy fighting what cannot be undone. You rise above it. You move forward. You remain unshaken. 4. The exercise of the view from above. Let us practice a Stoic meditation now, the view from above. Close your eyes and imagine yourself rising above the earth. First, you see your city below, the streets, the houses, the people moving about. Some are angry, some are laughing, some are working, some are sleeping. Now rise higher. You see your country vast and full of millions of people. Rise higher still. You see continents, oceans, clouds drifting across the sky. And as you keep rising, the earth itself becomes small, a blue sphere floating in the darkness of space. You see stars, galaxies, endless night stretching in every direction. Now ask yourself, in the face of such immensity, does the insult of another person matter? Does the betrayal sting as deeply? Does your anger make sense? Marcus Aurelius said, "Look down from above on the countless gatherings and countless ceremonies, and every sort of voyage in storm and calm, and the disputes of those who are being born, living together, and dying. Imagine too the life lived by others long ago, and the life that will be lived after you, and the life lived at this moment among alien races. then how trivial the things we fight about are. The view from above is the antidote to pettiness. It dissolves anger in the vastness of the cosmos. 5. The impermanence of all things. Another Stoic method is the meditation on impermanence. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself daily that both he and those who angered him would soon be gone. He wrote, "Think of the whole of existence, of which you are a very small part. Think of the whole of time, in which you have been assigned a brief and fleeting interval. And think of destiny, how small a part of it you are." When you meditate on impermanence, anger loses its urgency. Why waste your short life in fury? Why chain your limited days to resentment? Seneca urged us, "Life is long if you know how to use it." And anger is perhaps the greatest waste of life. Every moment spent in anger is a moment stolen from peace, from love, from purpose. 6. Turning anger into compassion. Here lies perhaps the highest Stoic strategy, transforming anger into compassion. Marcus Aurelius advised himself, "Whenever you are about to find fault with someone, ask yourself the following question: what fault of mine most nearly resembles the one I am about to criticize?" This reflection softens the heart. Instead of condemning others, you realize they are just like you, human, fallible, prone to error. Epictetus reminded us that people act according to their beliefs. If someone does wrong, it is because they believe it is right. They are misled by ignorance, not malice. Why then be angry? Should we not pity their blindness instead? This is why the Stoic sage feels compassion, not rage. He sees others not as enemies, but as fellow travelers on the difficult path of life. Take a breath. Think of the last person who made you angry. Now imagine them as a small child, stumbling, learning, making mistakes. Imagine them as a fragile being, destined one day to grow old, to suffer, to die. Do you still feel the same anger? Or does compassion rise where fury once lived? This is the Stoic secret. Anger is replaced by understanding. And understanding is the path to peace. Challenge for you. Here is your challenge for this part. Practice the cosmic perspective. The next time anger rises, lift your mind upward. Imagine yourself from the stars, looking down on the earth. Remind yourself of impermanence. Remember that soon all will be dust. Then ask, does this anger deserve my limited time and energy? If you can answer with clarity, you will find that most anger evaporates into nothing. In the next and final part, we will bring everything together. We will craft the ultimate Stoic strategy, a complete framework that combines perception, delay, training, perspective, and compassion into one unshakable method. This will be your shield against anger for the rest of your life. Stay with me, because part 4 is where the pieces become whole. You have come far on this journey. From the fire of anger to the cool clarity of reason, we have walked together through the wisdom of Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus. Now, in this final part, it is time to unite all the pieces into one shield, one ultimate Stoic strategy to conquer anger completely. This is not just philosophy. This is a way of life. And if you take it seriously, anger will no longer control you. You will control it. 1. Step 1. Recognize the enemy. The first step is awareness. Anger often disguises itself as strength, as justice, as self-defense. But the Stoics exposed its true nature. Anger is weakness, a brief madness, a self-inflicted wound. Seneca declared, "Anger, if not restrained, is more destructive than the injury that provokes it." So when you feel anger rising, name it. Recognize it for what it is. Do not justify it. Do not romanticize it. See it clearly as poison, as madness, as slavery. Only when you see anger as the enemy can you begin to defeat it. 2. Step 2. Control your perceptions. Epictetus gave us the foundation. Men are disturbed not by things, but by the view which they take of them. This is the key. Events themselves are neutral. It is your interpretation that fuels anger. So when insulted, remind yourself, this is only words, only sound. It cannot touch me unless I allow it. When betrayed, remind yourself, this is only an action. It does not diminish my worth unless I choose to believe it does. By controlling perception, you take back your power. The insult, the betrayal, the disrespect, all lose their sting when you refuse to judge them as unbearable. 3. Step 3. Practice delay. Seneca advised, "The greatest remedy for anger is delay." Anger thrives on speed. It demands reaction. So deny it this. Pause. Breathe. Count. Walk away if needed. Do not reply in the heat of the moment. Give reason time to return. The insult will shrink. The betrayal will fade. The disrespect will lose urgency. And when clarity returns, you will see that most anger was never worth acting upon. 4. Step 4. Train daily. Marcus Aurelius began each day by preparing for the flaws of others. This is premeditatio malorum. Expect imperfection, and you will not be shocked by it. Epictetus told us to see every difficulty as training, as exercise, as wrestling practice for the soul. Seneca reminded us to reflect daily, to examine where anger rose and how we handled it. Together, these practices form the discipline of daily training. Without training, anger will overpower you. With training, you will overpower it. 5. Step 5. Adopt the cosmic perspective. When anger grips you, rise above. Imagine the earth from the stars. See how small your grievance is in the vastness of time and space. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "How quickly all things disappear, bodies and memories of them. What is the nature of all sensible things, and particularly those which attract us with the bait of pleasure, or terrify us with the threat of pain, or are shouted about by the mouths of fame? How cheap they are, and how contemptible, and how despicable, and how quickly they fade away. When you see life from eternity, anger dissolves into insignificance." 6. Step 6. Accept fate. The Stoics taught amor fati, the love of fate. If something happens, it was meant to happen. Why resist what cannot be undone? Why rage at the inevitable? Marcus Aurelius said, "A blazing fire makes flame and brightness out of everything that is thrown into it." So too must we. Whatever happens, insults, betrayals, injustices, we can turn them into fuel for growth, not sparks for anger. Acceptance is not weakness. Acceptance is strength. It frees you from wasting your life in resentment. 7. Step 7. Transform anger into compassion. Here lies the highest Stoic mastery. Do not merely suppress anger. Transform it. When wronged, remind yourself, they act out of ignorance, just as I often do. When insulted, remind yourself, they are driven by passion, just as I sometimes am. Marcus Aurelius said, "Whenever you are about to blame someone, consider, what fault of mine most nearly resembles the one I am about to criticize?" This reflection turns judgment into humility, and anger into compassion. The Stoic sage does not burn with rage. He shines with understanding. He sees others not as enemies, but as fellow humans stumbling through life, just like himself. The Stoic shield against anger. Let us put all of this together into one complete shield. Recognize anger as madness, not strength. Control perception. Remember it is your judgment, not the event, that hurts you. Delay response. Pause, breathe, and let time weaken the fire. Train daily. Premeditate, practice, and reflect. Adopt cosmic perspective. Rise above and see the smallness of your grievance. Accept fate. Embrace what cannot be changed as part of the order of life. Transform into compassion. Turn anger into understanding, rage into forgiveness. This is the ultimate Stoic strategy to conquer anger. It is not just a single step. It is a way of being, a discipline, a shield that protects you in every moment of life. A final reflection. Pause now and imagine yourself living this way. Someone insults you, you smile with calm. Someone betrays you, you accept it with wisdom. Someone disrespects you, you respond with compassion. You are unshaken. You are free. You are master of yourself. This is the Stoic ideal. This is the path of strength. And you, too, can walk it. A call to action. If this message has touched you, if you are ready to master anger and live with unshakable peace, then take action now. Subscribe to this channel to continue your Stoic journey with us. Leave a comment below sharing one situation where anger usually controls you, and let us apply Stoic wisdom to it together. And if you believe this message can help someone you know, share it with them. Help them break free from the chains of anger, and together, let us build a community of strength, wisdom, and peace. Remember the words of Epictetus. No man is free who is not master of himself. Conquer anger and you conquer yourself. Conquer yourself and you conquer the world.